You've been wondering why you're here, who I am, why I'm doing this to you. So guess. If you guess right, I'll tell you. By the old gods and the new, I swear. You win the game. If you can figure out who I am and why I'm torturing you, and I win the game if you beg me to cut off your finger. You think I'm some sort of a savage? If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. I win.
Welcome to this podcast.
All right, welcome back, and really welcome back this time to the Same Shit Different Day, the podcast.
Same shit, different day, baby. We back, yo. What it do?
It's good, bro.
Tell him, man. We here.
I think we should at least address it. We've been off for a few weeks. We've been considering different things and how we might want to proceed with this. I just feel like, and we had this conversation that as much as I love MMA and we're still going to talk about it, we both love it. It's the main sport we discuss on a daily basis. The point of this show in the beginning was there's a million MMA podcasts. There's people who were here before us. There'll be people after us. I was more interested in our earlier discussions when we started this was to put our daily conversations, which we do about sports, like we're we're Skip Bayless and fucking Stephen A. Smith, and put those conversations to a podcast. But, I think we limited ourselves a lot when it came to just tying so much into the MMA, I love it. I love all of combat sports, boxing, even other MMA promotions like Bellator and shit. And we'll still discuss it all, but we want to be more about what the topic is, right? Same shit, different day. And one thing we both agree on is this is a crazy fucking world, no?
We want free range to say whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. That's right. And we're not going to be limited by anything. And we're going to keep going. And we want to talk about other topics as well. We want to give a rundown on a weekly basis of all the bullshit going on in the world. And there's plenty to talk about.
If I want to ask my man if he fucking listens to that fucking new Rich the Kid and Lil Wayne album, I can do that.
Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about. Not me. I definitely didn't listen to that bullshit. I mean, you know how I feel about Wayne, but nah, Rich the Kid, that's not for me.
What about Faruko?
Nah.
Nothing.
Nah, that's not for me. Yeah, man, I don't want to be the fucking poster boy of being a hater, and I don't want to act like no hoe button. Some of that new shit is just not for me. Some of that new shit is just not for me. I mean, we could get into music. I definitely think there's been a lot of great music this year. I think people were definitely like the big hitters were sitting away during quarantine.
100%.
They wasn't trying to give you everything, and then you got to listen to the shit in your house. So I think this year has been just nonstop rolling. It's just not for me.
It's not for everybody.
No, definitely. I just think it's more like a coast thing. It's weird. Hip hop's like that only genre of music that is so separated by coasts and where you live and how different it is from the East Coast to the West to the South. I'm just an East Coast bias type of dude,
I feel it. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's just what it is for me. And we could have a deeper dive on that, but I just think J. Cole's putting everybody away right now.
I feel it, man. All the features that he's on, he's killing it, bro. Album of the year.
Oh, come on. For sure, man. That shit was hard. It was concise. 12 records. It was bangers. Some real deep shit in there. Some real good lyrical genius shit. I mean,
fuck with half of it.
And not I fuck with half of it. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm offended a little bit by the Kanye Drake situation where y'all dropping so many records. It's too much.
Bro, they had them in the tuck, like you said. They were gone for so long.
Yeah, true. But then just give me another one in like 4 or 5 months. See, that's what I never understood. Like, I don't understand that about music. Some of these dudes, they don't come back for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So why drop me 27 records in one fucking album? How about you just split that shit, come back 8 months later, a year later, whatever. I'm not saying jam them on top of each other because there's an argument to be made. You'll shoot your shit too quick. But
I think most of these shits are like set up for like they go on tour. So are you going on tour with 12 songs?
But a tour, you go on tour, you could perform your old shit too. You got a catalog. J. Cole got a deep catalog. He could perform all 12 of those shits and plenty of his other shits too. And he could get quite the list of people to come out with him.
That's true.
And perform some of their shits, some of his features. Like, I don't know, man. As we get back to sports, with your fraudulent ass fucking headwear you got sitting over there.
You already know, baby. We here. We ready. Wild card game tonight.
Oh my God. This fucking guy.
We here, baby.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Oh, shit.
I knew you was a fucking fraud. Anyway. Don't talk about no Mets ever again, you bum. You're a fraud.
We here, baby. Playoff baseball's in New York.
Yo, good luck, Yankee fans. You're welcome. We just had them all season. Look how it turned out for us. You're welcome. Take them. You could fucking have them.
Wait, what?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Y'all see this? If anybody was following this shit, y'all see this? My man was a Met fan all year. Hence why we was 10 games under 500. You understand? This motherfucker is the Medusa fingers. Y'all don't understand.
I guess we're going to see tonight, right?
Good luck. Good luck.
We don't need it.
Yo,
Garrett Cole's on the mound. We got nothing but sluggers.
Yeah. We. See how quickly it became we? Yo, just stay there, bro. I hope they win a World Series with you wearing that hat. And you stay there.
Fraud.
So that we can have an untouched, successful season next year.
But at heart, I'm a real Mets fan.
Oh my God, listen to this guy.
But it's New York all the way, bro. Fuck all that Boston shit, man.
You fraudulent, man.
Nah, bro.
You fraudulent. Fuck out of here. But you know what? I've questioned over many years. I'll never make the switch. Never. I grew up in the Bronx, and I still am a Met fan. Die hard.
I was gonna ask you if they didn't let go of fucking Luis Rojas. Like,
there's nothing that's ever gonna change it.
Oh,
listen,
you would have rode with him
when in the worst of days. I'm talking about the darkest days as a Met fan. The darkest, which are post Madoff scheme. The owner said, "Oh, we were expecting all these returns over the years. We never got it. Not only that, we lost all this money, and we were a part of a fucking Ponzi scheme." And they pocketed everything. They still charged you $9 for a beer. They still charged you $13 for a sausage sandwich, and they didn't sign anybody. And we had the 15th to 20th ranked payroll in baseball while being in New York City. It's disgusting. And it was the worst of years. I still couldn't switch. I don't switch. I was born in 1988. So think about that. Right? 1988, at 7 years old, I made the official switch. I didn't watch cartoons anymore. I didn't do none of that shit. I watched sports. I became a Mets fan. So that's 1995. All right? Think about that. Yankees win in 96. They lose, but are in the World Series in 97. They win in 98. They win in 99. They beat the Mets in 2000. That takes me up through 12 years old. And I stood tall. I'm always gonna stand tall. They have never won nothing. I seen a stat the other day, some shit, don't quote me on the exact number, but it was like the Mets have won 27 playoff games in like the last 15 years. Could you imagine that? And I stood tall, always will. At the end of the day, the years that they've just disgusted me, those dark years, I just stopped watching baseball. I just tuned out. That year, fuck it. I spend my summers being outside and I'm not paying attention. It didn't matter what the fucking roster looked like or what the expectations were. I was still always there on day one, excited as shit.
Yep.
That was a holiday for me as a kid. Like my mom used to let me take opening day off so I could chill and watch that 1 o'clock baseball game.
That's flavors.
That was always my shit. It was, it's just, and one day they'll pay me for all of this. I'll get that chip and I'll cry like a bitch. Ain't nothing. I'm ready. But this was nothing but short of a disappointment.
A whole year, man.
I mean, a massive disappointment.
I agree. Between the shitty, but even before the season started, they were margin mess with the whole Beltran shit. The season started.
That's
injuries.
even before. That's before COVID. The Beltran shit. It's been 2 seasons since that. Technically,
really?
I mean that was like a short little 60-game season they had at the end of COVID, but actually it's been 2 since then. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even fucking take that into account.
Yeah, man, it's fucking rough, bro. It's just that's why Rojas, like, people feel like it might have been a quick. I don't think anybody feels like it was a quick hook. I'm pretty sure it's unanimous through Met fans and that he deserved to go. But he actually got 2 seasons. I mean, that was a short little bullshit season, but we were there. So what? Everybody got to play it.
True. I guess I don't know why I didn't count that or even think about it.
But man, I look at this team and the injuries obviously destroyed them, but I'm not here to make excuses. At the end of the day, like, look at fucking San Francisco. What did they win? 113 games? I mean, what the fuck?
Fucking amazing.
What the fuck?
And you look at that lineup, and I'm saying they got a couple of fucking big bats in there,
but still, I mean, and some of those bats are a little aged on the tooth. I'm like,
some of those bats are old Met bats.
Your Buster Posey, your fucking Brandon Belt. Like, I think these guys were looked past a little bit. Like maybe they had passed over the prime. And I mean, shout out to them, I guess. Good for them. We have a lot of things to do, but first off, you got to remove Sandy Alderson from this direct GM. I can't have that. I get he's buddy with Cohen, but if you're not going to get rid of him altogether, he got to move further away from the operation of the field. You got to bring Theo Epstein or Billy Bean or whoever the fuck they want to bring in. You got to bring in a guy at the president level. Then he's got to hire a manager. And from there, it's time to open the book again a little bit. I still am a big believer you got to re-sign Javi Baez. Look, you already committed the money to fucking Lindor. You don't want to fucking make us problem here. And I know Met fans
are a problem.
Trust me.
Who's starting the problem, Lindor?
It's a different day and age. My
bro. These can't even take the fans booing him. Go sit in a corner.
Oh, you're talking too much shit.
Yo, I can't, bro. No.
Keep that same energy when he comes back.
I will, bro. Keep that. He better keep up the same play he was doing at the end of the year, those last couple of games. Because if not, the boos are coming right back.
That's fine. But you know what? That's because Met fans are idiots. Because for the last 10 years, nobody even considered to sign with us.
Like, who cares, bro?
You're just going to fucking turn around and shit on people who finally do decide? Why would anybody else want to come here?
Just because you wanted to come here doesn't mean shit. Perform.
Resign Javi Baez. First of all, he was great for the Mets. Go look into the real stats of it. I'm not here to throw them at you. Go look at it. He was great for the Mets. Despite what you want to say, it's all the core guys who absolutely fucking sucked outside of Pete Alonso, who had a decent season. But I'm looking at Jeff McNeil. I'm looking at Michael Conforto. I'm looking at
boy Conforto crying at the end of the year.
Yeah, man, because it's his whole career has been with the Mets, and like I said,
it's because he knew he lost out on $100 million.
You know what? If he's willing to understand that and take 5 for 90, something similar to the DJ LeMahieu deal the Yankees gave,
something regular like that,
I'll take him back, and I think he can bounce back good. But if he comes in this offseason thinking he's still in that 150, 160 range he thought he was getting,
gonna want it.
See you later. Bye. Go get it. Gonna
want it. I wouldn't be surprised if he heads right down 95 down to Miami to go play for Derek Jeter.
Enjoy yourself. And you know what? He'll probably torch us for the next 10 years, but I don't care. That's how the Mets do it. That's how it goes. Whatever. Is what it is, man. I'm not here to beat the horse on this. We know what it is. This is what it's like. This is what it's like being a Met fan. So that's why you're wearing a Yankee hat.
We represent NY, baby.
Yeah, that's a spineless take. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's time to make some real fucking changes. And let's go Red Sox, I guess, Bust that fucking ass tonight. Bust that ass. Let's go. Yo, the NBA season.
It's approaching, baby.
Talk about fair weather shit. Same color scheme there. You got your Brooklyn Nets. What's gonna happen, man?
What do you mean? What's gonna happen?
Andrew Wiggins went out and got that Vacc
real quick.
Listen, my man, all of a sudden he was at a press conference talking about generational wealth. Somebody told him, yo, you can lose $30 million if you don't. He said, really? Stab it in both arms. Vax me twice. Let's go. But Kyrie ain't gonna do that.
I don't think so. And
It's not happening.
yeah, it'll be bullshit if he doesn't.
I mean, when does Kevin Durant say to himself, fuck it? Because
Bro, if you got to play another year like that without him, what the fuck did I come here for?
and he's lucky he still has fucking James Harden. That's how stacked they are, that they still have James Harden. So it like doesn't even matter. But
Right.
That's why I say, really, come on, think about it. Let's take the blinders off from everything that happened and let's tie in the Ben Simmons drama to this.
Yeah.
Now, Ben Simmons, in a lot of ways, has got fucking big balls to be acting this way, right? Because frankly, I mean, there's pictures going around of him passing out of like layups with like Trae Young standing there barely at his number.
Yikes!
And I can't even imagine it. Pussy. And I kind of agree with Joel Embiid too, where they got rid of Jimmy Butler because of Ben Simmons, so he could have the ball in his hands. And frankly, I bet you he wishes they still had Jimmy Butler.
100% he does.
Who knows? Because I think Kyrie could do something explosive like retire or something. But when does everybody in this situation, just think about it, take all that away. Think about what Ben Simmons is good at. And let's not get too far off like he is still a top player in the league. He was the best defensive player in basketball last year, but he's afraid to shoot. So how about putting Kevin Durant and James Harden around that guy? Now, because if the Nets had a problem at all last year, it was the defense, right? Because they got nobody to guard somebody good. Like they're going to have to outscore you 147 to 130 because they don't have defense. So now you add Ben Simmons, who could be a secondary ball handler to Harden, could play defense, could play down low, could drive and kick to Kevin Durant. And I mean, Kyrie Irving, as great as he provides more offense, it's like how much more you need.
Yeah.
James Harden and Kevin Durant play here.
Exactly.
So isn't it just like and then think of Philly. Joel Embiid now gets a killer. I mean, because when Kyrie Irving is healthy and when Kyrie Irving plays and when he's not losing his fucking noodle, he's a killer.
Yeah.
And what does Joel need when they start double teaming him down low? Not Ben Simmons. That's why they don't work, because Ben Simmons is the same fucking dude. He needs to be down low. So you can't kick to Ben Simmons. That dude's afraid to shoot a free throw. Forget about a three-pointer. But Kyrie's a killer. It makes everybody better. It's not even really a question. If you just take everything aback, you're like, yo, that would be crazy.
That deal makes sense.
They probably meet up in the Eastern Conference Finals if it happens.
That deal makes sense for everyone.
Except for the fact that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving kind of seem like they might have a romantic relationship behind closed doors.
I'm not saying all that.
It might be, because if not, it only makes sense.
I'm
And
saying if you don't get vaxxed, that's a reason to divorce, yo.
and guess what? In Philly, you don't need to have the vax.
Exactly why it makes sense.
So boom. End the story. Let's do it. Let's make it only makes sense for everybody. But it's this stupid relationship that they have that's gonna fuck that up. And you saw that with DeAndre Jordan. That was a fucking mistake. They didn't need to make that move. That was $40 million down the fucking drain. And now he's playing for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right? Mistake. And when does Kevin Durant say, yo, I got James Harden here? I mean, in reality, Kevin Durant and James Harden teamed up should be able to get it done. Really, against anybody. And I'm talking even that Laker team that has all them fucking crazy people on it.
I could see that trade going down. Kyrie would be out half the season and B to be out the other half. They'll still make the playoffs somehow, some way, and then both of them won't play in the playoffs in the first round.
You might be right, but at the end of the day, when you're Kevin Durant, for your legacy, when are you gonna say,
stand up for yourself a little bit?
Yeah, be a man, bro.
Yeah.
Like you followed this dude to some weird ass Brooklyn Nets team, which was not. Listen, I'm not even saying you got to go to the Knicks, but the fact that you really left the Warriors. And you didn't
that's just where it's at. Yo.
Come on, it's so corny, bro. How you let him convince you to go to this corny ass team that nobody cares about? Come on.
They're putting them on the map. What do you want, bro?
But are they?
Yeah, when they win the chip next year, yeah.
Still nobody cares though.
They will.
Nobody cares.
They will.
It's not the Garden. Like how you go to New York.
Yeah, it's something totally different.
You go to New York
It's
anyway, deal with all the other aspects and don't go to the Garden? What the fuck is wrong with you? How'd you let him convince you to do this? And now you over there, it's typical number 2 mind state, which Kevin Durant always has been. Number 2. That's it. Drafted number 2. Always be number 2. Second to LeBron his whole career in the league. Curry's number 2. Now Kyrie's number 2. You Kevin Durant, how you get convinced to go to some like, oh, because Kyrie grew up watching the Nets. What does that have to do with you? You're supposed to be the greatest fucking player in the league. What does that have to do with you? You should be telling Kyrie, yo, you'll come. If you want to play with me, you'll come where I want to go. Why you didn't just go back home to like Washington or something and tell Kyrie to come with you and play with Bradley Beal? That's your hometown. That's where he grew up. Why not go there?
For that guy.
But why not go there, right?
How about Bradley Beal still being stuck in Washington?
Bradley Beal chooses to be stuck in Washington.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
That might end up being a place Ben Simmons goes to. That's something I could see
I
happening
don't like that.
for anybody. Really, the best deal on the table is Nets and Sixers make the swap. Nothing better than that. Opening day will be soon. We'll see what's up. I'm excited about my Knicks. They seem gritty. I think we've added some. Yeah, but that's preseason still, right?
Yeah, preseason.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck about that, really.
Fuck it. It's something to watch.
Preseason makes me nervous anyway. I feel like these basketball players are so they could get hurt so easily that it's just like it's wasting. They're basketball players. They did this shit their whole life. Like they don't need to fucking play these stupid games. Come on. Like I don't need.
I agree.
Maybe some young players trying to make their way, like maybe expand the rosters a little bit, give it to 25 players. But I don't want to see a starter anywhere. Julius Randle has been in this league for.
Well, yeah,
but he's not gonna probably not anyway. But I'm saying I don't want to see like Kemba should be far away from far away. I don't even want him in the first row. Sit him 3 rows back in case there's a ball that goes near over there. I want all those guys away from it, but like Kevin Knox should be out there trying to grind for some minutes and show something,
Exactly. That's what you like to watch for.
Because my man is on the block now. Here we go. This is it for him.
It's true. Make or break.
Yeah, man. And outside of that, in the most fraudulent thing I think you'll ever hear me say, I will obviously dye blue and orange with my Knicks until the moment they are eliminated this season. But after that moment, a little bit in the back of my mind, I won't wear no hat or nothing.
Fraud.
But a little bit in the back of my mind, I'll be rooting for Carmelo Anthony to get one with the Lakers. Just because I feel like
that's nasty as fuck.
Oh, that's nasty. Look who's talking. This guy's got balls, yo. Holy shit.
Nasty. You gonna go root for the Lakers?
This guy and Ben Simmons.
Yo,
see the same ball doctor. They both have fucking elephantitis. These guys sit on their nuts to take a nap. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's crazy.
You switched. You were a Met fan all season. You're wearing a fucking Yankee hat.
Bro,
the Knicks and the Lakers aren't even.
New York.
The Knicks and Lakers aren't even rivals. They're not in the same conference. And I said up until the point where the Knicks get eliminated, meaning the Knicks would only play the Lakers in the finals. So if they was to get there, like I said, I'm with my Knicks until they are eliminated. But once that comes, were you kidding me? You think like if the Lakers were playing the Nets, I want the Nets to win? Fucking suck this whole dick. I want the Lakers to sweep in 4. And I want the 4th game to be in Brooklyn where nobody's attending anyway.
Packed house.
You'll see more. In LeBron jerseys. In LeBron jerseys. Fuck out of here. In LeBron jerseys.
Bro.
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
You give Brooklyn no props, man. They're going to show you.
Yo, before we do kick back into some MMA shit, I want to ask you if you watched any of the Brady Belicheck fucking showdown on what was it?
I did.
Sunday?
I gave him a view, but yo, the views on that was straight stupid. It was something astronomical. I think they broke records. But yo,
I'm sure.
It was a little too hyped for me.
But I think you kind of saw that in the play. That's why the game ended up 19-17. It was just so much fucking emotion. I think Brady didn't look good. I mean, yeah, Mac Jones had 19 straight completions and shit, but I mean,
the Pats look good. Hold on.
No points.
Belichick looked like he knew what the fuck he was doing out there.
Okay. All right. So, but then
the only thing about the Tom Brady thing was he ain't really looked that great. It was raining most of the night, bro. That ball was.
But this is what I'm saying. It was raining. It was terrible conditions. It's a fucking highly emotional game. It's on primetime TV. He didn't have Gronk, which you really noticed out there because that dude he's gigantic, but gets clear somehow every fucking time. Like, how the fuck does a guy that big end up wide open in the middle of the field all the time? And especially when you get down in the red zone. But all right, so Belichick on 4th and 3 decides to kick a fucking 56-yard field goal in, as you said, the worst conditions possible. Like, how'd you feel about that? Because I think that's why I say everyone. It was just like Brady looked like shit. Belichick looked like shit.
Nah, man.
I think everybody looked like shit. Because, all right, so fourth and 3.
Besides that one slip up, bro.
Now, don't get me wrong. It missed by a half a foot and a couple inches to the right, and it's good. But I think one thing people seem to be forgetting about all that as well is that there was like 57, 58 seconds left on the clock. If that field goal had went in, Brady was coming back to put them back in position for another field goal to beat you. And I think he's got enough of a track record that we could say confidently that we believe that's what would have happened. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody says, do you go for it so you make the field goal shorter because the conditions were crazy? But what about also even just like, what's the benefit of even hitting it? Because if you hit it, you still gave him another minute. Yeah. And I was actually shocked because the way it was working out, I was like, you figure Brady will get that last minute or two, take it down the field. But with like 4 minutes left, they're driving. And I thought it was surprising. He goes for the touchdown to Antonio Brown instead of just picking up the first down and milking even more clock.
I know that play missed, but those two together, that's a cheat code, bro. I know that play didn't hit, but if they connect, they got something special over there, man.
I also think that's where you see Gronk was missing because he would have hit Gronk on something there.
True.
But why not just pick up the first there too? That was odd to me. But then when they go, all right, so they kick the field goal. And I'm like, wow, you actually left it to the Patriots with the 2 minutes left. Could Brady get the ball back again? I'm not sure. So at that point, I'm like, Belichick doesn't go for the 3 yards on 4th and 3. This kid had 19 straight completions. If anything he could do, he's game managing well and hitting the short slants and doing all that. How do you not go for that? Because just for the fact of like, milk more of the clock because you can't leave a minute for Brady over there.
That's true.
So that's a lapse in his judgment. That's him fucking up where it counts. And I just think it was an example where both, despite how calm and cool they wanted to play it, both were highly emotional. Everybody was. Everybody's probably on eggshells. Even Antonio Brown, which that was a tough fucking catch. But I've seen him make that 1,000 times. I think everyone probably felt it to some extent.
Nah, man, he fucking caught one of those 2 plays before, man. Nah, he just missed.
But that's what I'm saying. In the moment where it's like you want to do it for Brady, you got to love this guy if you're his teammate. He seems like a fucking awesome, amazing guy, and he's a winner.
You have to.
And Brady himself, if Brady, through all he's been through in 22 seasons, if anything could make this man look rattled, that was it. In Foxborough, the weather,
the crowd,
the pressure,
the emotions.
It's like, because I mean, after 22 years, this guy's fucking 10 Super Bowls. He's never fucking getting rattled from anything. He was rattled a little bit. I've seen it.
I know you didn't look, but fucking, I actually checked on some stupid shit. But fucking, what do you think it costs to get in there?
You know, it's funny. My sister went with her boyfriend. He's a Patriot fan. Yeah.
What?
And they drove out to Massachusetts. She said it took them like 2 hours just to get out of the fucking parking lot.
Yo, that's fly as fuck. They rich as fuck too. Because that shit was pricey.
I'm sure.
That shit was pricey.
I would say, like, because I mean, football tickets in general are ridiculous.
I've checked, but I'm talking about just to get in to sit all the way at the top up there.
1,100.
Oh hell no, bro! This ain't the Super Bowl, bro. 250.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that much
to sit all the way up top.
You'd be surprised. Try to get Giant tickets.
It's not that bad, bro.
Yo, it
I actually went to. No, I looked. It's not that bad.
Well, that's because they suck. They suck right now.
Get in there for like $100.
That's because they suck right now. I don't know. Both teams suck. Both New York teams are terrible right now.
It's no need to even talk about that.
No, you're a Jet fan this year. Just remember that. Stay there.
I could be, but I'm saying like
Fraud.
yo, can we just look? I'm gonna have an honest conversation, right?
Okay.
Live on air. All right.
Let's do it.
I've been feeling really nasty every Sunday, betting on the Dallas Cowboys.
Ugh.
But yo, I kind of like the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my!
They've got a fucking squad over there, bro.
Shut your mouth.
Full disclosure.
Yo, let's have a conversation. Live on air. Full disclosure. You disgust me.
Yo,
I can't even believe it.
Every Sunday night it's like, I feel really nasty like doing this, and it's just like when I'm watching these games and they look fucking good. They play some exciting ball, bro. Zeke.
Oh my god. Oh my god, yo, I can't. You know what?
Oh, shit.
You know what? Whatever.
Season 2, baby, we back.
Whatever. The further I get you away from my team, I don't give a fuck.
Fucking right.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, caught y'all first dub this weekend.
Y'all, because he's a Cowboy fan now.
I'm going to go see fucking if I could get a Zeke jersey ASAP, bro.
Oh my god.
We going to the chip this year.
Yo, you absolutely are disgusting. I can't. You are a fraud. How did you grow up in New York?
I can't root for somebody. Like I'm telling you now.
You told me that it was gross. You had the balls. See what I'm saying? You had the balls to tell me it was gross. That I would just hope a little bit that after the Knicks were eliminated, that Carmelo Anthony could get a ring. One of my favorite players of all time. The only guy in my whole fucking life who chose to go to the Knicks, who had the balls to say, I wasn't drafted here. I didn't get traded by my team against my will. I chose. I demanded a trade from Denver and said, send me there. I want to go to the Knicks. Back when Brooklyn was courting him too, because nobody cares about Brooklyn. And where he was born in New York was Brooklyn. And he still wasn't trying to go there. He came to the Garden. He's my favorite basketball player of all time. And just because I want to see my man get that fucking ring, that's gross. I never would wear a jersey. I would never wear a hat. You won't fucking catch me fucking tweeting, oh, let's go Lakers. But a little bit inside on my couch, when I sit there watching the final game, if they were to pull it off after the Knicks were eliminated.
You copying yourself from Carmelo Lakers.
Absolutely not. Never. No, I have my Carmelo Knicks jersey. I got my Carmelo Knicks All-Star jersey from when we played the All-Star game in the Garden.
And you'll justify it, and be like, well, this one got the championship patch on it.
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And the Lakers aren't even a fucking rival of the Knicks. The Knicks could be so lucky to be a rival of the team that's won 17 fucking championships. And we busted them, and both the times we won at least one of them for sure. Maybe not the first one, but yeah, definitely one of them. We beat the Lakers for a championship back in the 70s. We're not rivals. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, I don't give a fuck. And if they play the Knicks in the finals, obviously I hope Carmelo Anthony fucking doesn't get shit, and I hope we win. But after the Knicks are eliminated, not some fraudulent fucking 3 games into the season, the Cowboys look good, I'm going to buy a jersey. Like, you have children, my man. Like, you have children, bro. You got to set an example, bro. This is weird, man.
I just want to pay it forward, man. Like,
you know what? I'm not even mad because
the
last time we had a barbecue, at least I know your son was getting at you for the same thing. So he has separate values and morals when it comes to these situations.
You already know, man.
Good for him. Thank God. Because if not, like, I'd have to start sending a birthday card with notes in the back. Like, yo, your father loves you, but there's certain things that you need to just, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
It's like, don't necessarily do this. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to have fights in school and shit for no reason. You know what I mean?
don't be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of.
No, be a fan of whoever you want to be with, but choose that and stick to it, because that's what makes this fun. What fun is it to just bounce around in a team that has the position to get there? Like, what fun is that?
You know what's fun?
Nothing
Winning.
about it.
Winning is fun. Winning on a Sunday is fun. Going to collect is fun.
But if you just, it's like playing your video game on easy. It's like what you're just bouncing to the teams you know are going to win. So what's the value in it? Because what's joy without some pain? Like you have to experience. But you wait until they go 3-0, and then you say 2-1 and look great in their last 2, 3-1, 3-0 in their last 3, and then you're like, now I'm a Cowboy fan. Yeah, that's how you wait. That's how you know. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
I think that's early enough in the season to choose who you think's gonna win.
Early enough, my man. This is a choice that needs to be made in life, not in the season.
I'm saying, I'm a Jet fan. Look at how fucking miserable it is over there, yo.
Bro, in 2007, what were we doing during the Super Bowl? We were bouncing.
Representing for NY, about to bring the house down. You know what it was.
And now you're a Jet fan.
You was there. A lot of y'all wasn't there. You was there.
All right, I can't take this anymore. Let's talk some combat sports. We are rebranding. We are changing the model, but there are some hot topics we want to get through. We're not going to be reviewing each of these cards, especially this one coming up. And what a good week to rebrand, because you see what I'm saying? Oh, this is great. Yeah, why is the prelim main event on the poster? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm confused. I think Dana got it fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you want to start cards at fucking 1:00 in the afternoon, though. That's what you get.
Yeah, and no disrespect to them. I mean, if anything significant happens, we'll discuss it down the road. But I want to talk about some hot topics. Just roll through a few things. We can't go anywhere without first discussing the tragedy that is Jon Jones.
Oh, he's forgotten about it, bro. He's just he's gone. He's moved past it. It's never happened. You should just forget about it according to him.
Here's the thing. One thing I don't want to rebrand is the ugly. Now we're gonna talk about this, but I'm not. You could go and look up yourself what the fucking allegations are, right? Because these are the worst ones so far. I mean, I guess, right?
Oh, this is definitely the worst of it all. Bro.
Definitely the worst. But you go look that up yourself. That's not the point. My point is to say, what a fucking tragic. I mean, you see these situations in other sports, right? I guess you could say, I mean, thank God, I'm not wishing this on him at all, but like usually something crazy drastic will happen and maybe one of these guys will die or something, like Len Bias. The kid was a fucking straight edge kid, great basketball player, drafted number 2 overall to the Boston Celtics, who had just come off winning the championship. He was the best player in college, they believe, and he goes to a party, sniffs one line of coke, and has a heart attack and dies. Man, that's so fucking tragic. He was so talented. But this guy, Jon Jones, like, I think he might have the most. He's lucky because the UFC, the way their business model works, I'm sorry to say, it's just like if you're significant enough, they know this is fighting. Like Bellator or fucking PFL or whoever, they're going to sign him. Jon Jones will be main eventing against Fedor Emelianenko in fucking Madison Square Garden for Bellator before the end of the year if you cut him. And that has granted him this opportunity to get so many chances that like he's Len Bias 4 or 5 times over in his whole career. I mean, because at the end of the day, this guy, without a shadow of a doubt, from the eye test, if you really watch, is the greatest fighter of all time. Just, I mean, size, the fact that I believe he could have been beating heavyweights all these years, just as he's been with the light heavyweights. How many generations of fighters he's gone through, winning the belt so young, and then just the crazy shit that he's been doing. And, we talked about it, and I said, how the fuck is this guy taking this like extended break to move up to heavyweight when, like, bro, all you've had is breaks during your cases and your fucking hit and runs and fucking all these crazy shit, the drug failures and what, I mean, 30 for 30, you're going to need a fucking 5-part series. This guy needs, like, seriously.
That is so fucking true.
You can't do this in an hour and a half.
That's so fucking true.
I mean, you could get an hour and a half of his accomplishments, and then you get another hour and a half, 2 hours of his fuck ups between the fucking drunk test in front of the car a couple years ago in Albuquerque and just the laundry list of things this guy has done. And then he takes this stupid fucking break this whole time. You want to say it's about money or whatever. Where do you get your balls that you're arguing about money? You shouldn't even have a career. Are you kidding me? People talk shit about Greg Hardy. You're fucking above and beyond what Greg Hardy's done. Above and beyond. The ugliness, the running back to the car after the T-boning a pregnant woman in the fucking intersection, but not running back to check if the pregnant woman was okay, to grab the weed bowl and the coke and the money out the fucking glove compartment and run away again. What? You're complaining about money? You should be like, yo, Dana, thank you so much. I'm going to fucking donate my purse to to something. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
I get that you were going up against Francis Ngannou, and for the first time in your career, you said, this guy could fucking end it all right here. So I got to get as much money as I could get. Say what you want. It ain't about fear. I still think John Jones would make the walk. I know he would. Yeah. And I think he would beat him, actually. I really believe that. But what he knows is, more than anything, it's the biggest risk of, like, if that guy just punches and knocks me silly, I'll never get a big fight again. So I'll get a big fight again, but a lot of it comes off. Yeah. A lot of the shine comes off. It's a fucking tragedy, really.
It is, man. Yo, do better, bro. Fucking put the bottle down, kid. That shit is clearly fucking no good, bro. Like, it's gonna, bro. He's had, like you said, he's had so many opportunities. When do those opportunities give up? Like, just stop, bro. Put the shit down. Leave that shit alone. Or fucking train more, dude.
It's just it's crazy to me. I mean, it's such squandered talent. It's like, this is what, like, if Michael had a drug problem, like, this is what it would have looked like. I mean, the guy is just, I just don't get it. I don't know what to say about him. I mean, I wish him the best, because I've always been a John Jones fan. I was rooting for this guy from day one, way before people even knew who he was. First time I seen him was UFC 100. He was on, like, the prelims of that big ass event, and I mean, the guy was lethal. I told you, something came off of him when they stopped letting him do drugs and shit and party, because he was one of those, like, eccentric artists, like Jimi Hendrix. Like, he needed to do coke 3 days before the fight.
Yeah,
because that's why he would come out and do crazy spin and shit, because he didn't give a fuck. Then they took the drugs away from him, and he was like, he didn't have the fire. You see that in fights like the OSP fight. Then that's why I think he started taking some funny supplements. It's a brain confidence thing. The guy's shot, bro. I don't know.
Said it was a sex pill. Remember that.
This is terrible, because it's like they flew him into Vegas real quick just to do this Hall of Fame shit. And then, I mean, what do you expect Dana to say? But in the post fight, he's kind of just like, yo, we do our best to save him from himself. But at this point, he was home with his family.
Yeah.
Like, and then now he's putting out posts with, talking about alcohol. He's done with it. I mean, yeah, it's probably a good choice 10 years ago. How much?
It's not too late, but it's not too late.
It's still not too late. That's what's crazy, is he's so successful, so young, that even after all these breaks and all the accomplishments, it's just, but my God, I mean, it's a short HBO series. It's like a limited 12 episode, like, to tell this guy's story. And it's not even over yet, so, because he'll still be back. And more than likely, yo, I'm sorry to say, but the way it operates, I don't think I blame them. I don't know. Because, like, the NBA could fucking suspend you, and you can't just go play for, the fucking next, the ABA or something like you could to Bellator. So I guess we'll see when he returns. Next up on the list in terms of returns, Nick Diaz.
was a chunky return.
Oh shit. Yeah, something's up there. I mean, Nick's always been eccentric. Both of them are. He never seems to really want to fight. It seems like he always gets to a point where financially he feels like he has to.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad, and that's a shame. This one was ugly.
You think it was ugly? I don't think
Well,
he held. Yo, I don't want to shit on him too bad. Yo, he went in there and held his own, and he didn't look half bad for somebody that fucking was away for so long.
absolutely. And that's why I was the one telling you leading up to it. People are like, "Oh, did you see him shadow boxing for the UFC promo thing?" Like, yo, let me tell you something. Do you know what they must have had to do just to get him to show up to that?
Show up and do that.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? You think he cares about that? Like, that's not. Don't get that twisted. And all this means is, and what it tells me is, because it's true. I mean, and I don't hate on it. I hate when people do that. It's like with music, where like if you like somebody who was underground and then they make it, you shame new fans. Like, oh yeah, but you ain't been around since the beginning. Like, if you really care about that artist or that fighter or whatever it may be, like, you don't shame them that's like a sports thing. Well, you wouldn't know anything about that, but I think that's what it ties back to, where it's like, yo, don't come on to be a fan now that we've popped, because we were fans when it was up. That applies to sports. It doesn't apply in these things. If you like a fucking artist and you want them to remain of you and those 1,000 people who go to see them at the fucking small club in the city, well then, he's never going to make it for himself. How much do you really like him then? So you should embrace new people. So I embrace new fans of the fight game. I don't like to turn people away, but it definitely is glaring that many people are new to this, because if you had been around when Nick was at his absolute fucking best, the guy is one of the best boxers in MMA. Anyone who knows anything will tell you that. But then to the untrained eye, you'll like watch it and be like, but he doesn't look like crisp and clean. He's not,
Got that Diaz swag, bro.
He's Nick Diaz. He rolls, he fucking counters. Sometimes he'll like use his forehead to intercept your punch so that he could land back. He doesn't throw massive power shots. He beats it on you.
Yeah.
Just like Nate. But Nick's even better. Nick's way better than me. Always was, but it's been a lot of years and he clearly didn't train that much. And I mean, the thing that shocked me was when they said the thing about moving the fight to 85. Because if there's anything I know about the Diaz brothers, it was always just like being in crazy shape. Why is it that he wouldn't be in shape to make weight? Like he's always going to complain. He's going to tell you that his training partners weren't really available. He couldn't really prepare for this fight. There was, he'll be like, I'm not making any excuses. Like, it is what it is. But like, I had no training. I wasn't able to do anything for 6 weeks. My back was hurt. Like, my ankle was twisted. Like, and then, that's Nick Diaz. That's how they are. I'm not ready to write it off. I want to say, yo, can he actually train and come back and get back into shape? I'm not even mad if he stays at 185. Just in more Nick Diaz type shape. Like, what happened to the triathlons and shit? And maybe a little more interest in actually doing it. See, I think to him, you see at the end, he said in the post fight, he owed me this one. I think to him, he was like, there's no winning in this because I already beat Robbie Lawler once. So now he's either going to get me back or I do the same thing I did and it doesn't matter.
It was nice to see him back. I ain't looking forward to it.
No, nobody.
I mean, if he shows up, but
I've heard a few names that I wouldn't be mad at. Like,
you could open up a main card.
Oh, stop it.
Come on,
He's
man.
listen, still on that card, still, he was the best selling name on the card. Come on, man. First off, we talk like Valentina's dominance goes without saying. And Volkanovski, Ortega.
Only because it was the fight back. Now you've seen what you get. So unless he comes,
Well, I'm not going to main event him, but I put him third. I put him as a co-main event. Why not? Let me ask you something. Look at the card you're getting this weekend.
It's on fucking ESPN Plus.
So Nick Diaz can't main event against Mike Perry on ESPN Plus.
What you want?
I'm just saying, listen,
Hey, if that's what I'm not mad at that card. No, absolutely not. You think that's what he's doing?
Who gives
On
a fuck?
Saturday afternoon, he ain't signing that. He wants the big money. No big money being paid out this weekend.
Nick Diaz probably gets really good money, but I don't know if it's current standards big money. Like he's not getting Conor money.
He got nice money to come back.
I'm sure he wouldn't have done it if he didn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was like maybe like a mil, 1.5. It wasn't 5, 10, 15 million. Not even close.
I think it was like 2 or 3, but I ain't counting nobody.
Maybe but that is like, because remember, you still have to pay the champion on the pay-per-view points. Like that's kind of some horse shit.
But like you said, that was the best-selling fight, right?
But that's my point. Yeah, and so you have to compensate him for that, but you also have to remember the UFC who they are and say that they had to pay both the champions that didn't really even earn theirs.
Right.
So that had to come out of Nick's pot too, no matter what. Trust me. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 1.5, 2 at a max, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's getting more than 10 outside of Conor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so and that's like really few guys. I'd say even Nate and Jorge are probably around like the 5 to 8 in the right fight. But I would watch Nick fight Cowboy Cerrone. I'd watch him fight Mike Perry.
Yeah, either one of those fights could host like a Saturday.
I don't. You're bugging, bro. You're bugging. The way their model is now, it's like they're giving away a free card in a couple weeks. That's fucking insane.
I heard, yo.
It's literally insane.
Yeah.
We could talk about it when it gets a little closer, but it's literally nuts and it's free. We'll see.
Isn't that because it's in Abu Dhabi or something?
Yeah, because I think it has to run during like the day and shit.
Yeah.
That's Dan Hooker stepping up to fight Islam Makhachev. Gotta respect that.
Really?
Not even going home. Stayed in the U.S., gonna fly to Abu Dhabi, gonna fight Islam Makhachev on like 30 days notice after all that craziness he just went through to fight Nasrat and get that W.
That's G shit.
That's G shit. That's how you stay in the promotion, even if you lose a couple. Straight up, smart man. Because that was his first win back in a while. He had lost like 3, 4 in a row to top guys. Don't get me twisted, but like, and I'll be honest, I don't see this as a great one for him. Like I like Dan Hooker a lot now, a lot more than I used to, but I don't see this as a great fight for him.
We know what Makhachev brings.
Yeah, he's gonna Khabib the fuck out of him, and I just but he's smart though, because stepping up like this, Dana's not cutting you.
Right.
You get to lose another 3 in a row before he starts having that conversation. So in the co-main on that one, I mean, as expected, right? Valentina straight up fucking dominated again.
Bro, you knew it was over with fucking. Didn't we have this conversation? Getting to the spot of fighting Valentina is the highlight of it.
Lauren Murphy, for sure. For most of them at this point.
That was a W. Just being in that position, signing the fucking the fucking
poster, being on the poster. Yeah.
Bro, that's next level shit.
That's a
that
win.
Was already a W.
Because you had no chance in the fight.
0. And you could tell whoever her coach is, I think it's her man.
It's her husband,
yeah.
Never a good idea. I don't think that's it.
Tell her to stay home.
You know, she said something after the fight about that. Something like, don't quote me on it, but I did read it somewhere where she was like, listen, nobody knows what goes into my camp and shit. And basically that they've had a discussion prior to this shit that like, I know when I'm getting my ass kicked. Yeah. I don't necessarily need you to berate me in between rounds. And we have a conversation where they're just meant to prop me up and tell me like, you know, but
I'm talking about in the fight, I'm talking about like the whole week before the vetted stuff. Like,
hey, listen, if you might as well not even walk in there if you're not going to try to convince yourself at least that you could win. So good for them. But there was a lot of talk about the in-between rounds where they were like, you're doing great. Just keep it up. And it's like, and see, my contest to her would be, listen, I get that. I appreciate that. So you've made an agreement with your husband. Don't come in between. I know I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm in there. I don't need you to berate me. When you think about that on the surface level, you're like, well, that makes sense. But I'll ask one thing. How about, and maybe I'm crazy, but how about just some like game plan shit. Like how about like, yo, circle the other way because she's clapping you with that fucking lead hook. Maybe I don't know, shoot a fucking take. Who knows? Fucking,
hit her with a 1-2 when you see her step back.
Jump down on the floor and try to bite her baby toe. Just do something. Don't just say, yo, you're doing great.
Right.
Because isn't that kind of condescending too? When I walk over and I can't see out my left eye and I just hear your voice over there saying from the shadows, yo, you're doing great. Because I don't really think that's true. So just as much as I know I'm getting my ass kicked and I don't need you to berate me, I don't know. Any ideas? Should I fucking bite her buchaka? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, stick my finger in her ass? Like, how should I fucking get an advantage here?
There was nothing she could do, bro. Totally.
And I guess that was the conversation. But then at that point, then I really wonder, like, is it even worth it signing the posters? Because y'all knew y'all had no chance. Y'all didn't even come in with a game plan of some sorts or a plan B or a plan A, really, from what it looked like. Because homegirl couldn't even touch her.
19 total strikes she landed.
Oh my God. And so that's the conversation that I think comes out of this, which is embarrassing in itself for Lauren Murphy to some extent. People are like, yo, Valentina, why are you playing with your food? Like, you could have finished her back in the first round or second round.
She could have.
Here's my real question, and the reason I even bring this whole bullshit up, because that fight wasn't worth a conversation. Valentina or Amanda? Who's the best woman fighter ever? Who's the best right now?
Everybody's going to say that, it's Amanda because she's got the wins over her.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But in my opinion, bro,
I agree that everyone will say that.
Valentina's the fucking monster no one wants to see.
I know. It's
Not
tough.
even Amanda. Not even Amanda, bro. I don't even think she wants to go fight her again.
The thing is Valentina, what if I can give one flaw in the game, and it's not to reinforce what I just said people are saying about with Lauren Murphy, but it is to some extent, and I've seen it in other cases too. I'm not here to tell her how to fight. I mean, like, what the fuck? Right. But like, she is a little slow and prodding. And I think that's how Amanda has been able to outpoint her and get those 2 victories. I mean, the second one was real close and questionable. And I love that Valentina's kind of doing interviews now and talking a little spicy about it. Yeah. Like, oh, Amanda knows she was gifted that win and like, she don't want to run it back. But I think there's 2 things. Number one, they have to fight at 135 because Amanda couldn't get lower than that. And I think that'll always give an advantage to Amanda in this to some extent. Plus, yeah, like Valentina, as great as she is, because when she like unloads, it's like, holy shit. But you got to do it a little earlier because Amanda picks up those early rounds on you and then it becomes a recovery. You have, Amanda picks up those first 2 or 3 outpointing you. And it's basically what, I mean, in the first one, I think they only fought 3 rounds, but I think Valentina was putting it on her in the third, and then the fight ended, but Amanda took the decision. And it was kind of similar in the second one. But maybe all of us start to only like remember, what have you done for me lately? Because Amanda's been off for a little bit now. And not that I'm saying that I'm even making a choice just yet, but remember, like, as we've discussed, like the murderer's row of skulls that Amanda Nunes has around her fucking mantle. And you're not talking about, there's always that like Cyborg always played this part outside of the UFC where no matter who was great in the women's divisions in the UFC, it always was like, yeah, but like if Cyborg fought them, Ronda dealt with that stigma, anyone. But she knocked Cyborg the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's still, in my opinion, the right there with the Aljo McGregor of most shocking knockouts I've ever seen in my life. She took Holly Holm's head off, head kicked her, KO'd her. She choked Miesha Tate out at UFC 200 on the gold canvas to take the belt. She's wiped the floor with everyone else. And if you're on her side, you can say she has won twice against Valentina. Yeah. It's a tough ass conversation. And I think that's why more than anything, it's rare to see a trilogy when somebody's 2-0. But this is the one we need to see. There's just nobody else.
It's definitely, if you want to be greatest of all time, for Shevchenko. Amanda's got nothing to prove. She's got her fucking mantle set, and she's got her on her mantle 2 times. So Amanda has nothing to prove. Shevchenko is the one with everything.
I love it. I love that take.
I'd love to see a third fight of that.
But no, I love that. I agree. You almost think Valentina could definitely win that one, but you say to yourself, but Amanda has nothing to prove.
And Amanda could do it again. So you take that third fight and she does that again?
No,
I don't want to say I don't want to say it fucks up the legacy, but that's a huge fucking dent. Like that's like the John Jones, Daniel Cormier type dent. You know what I mean?
Yep. Whew, another strong point. Great comparison as well. Absolutely, it's true.
It's a great conversation. You got a good point of the whole "what have you done for me lately" thing. That's a tough conversation to have right there.
Definitely,
I'd love to see that.
But that's why we got to see it, because at this point, Valentina has secured being the greatest 125 women's champion of all. Like nobody's touching her there. Yeah. Amanda can't make that weight. If she did, she'd get fucked up. Trust me, because it would drain her too much. Yeah. Valentina's got that secured. So the only thing left for her, she could keep beating people up in this, but it's like, yeah, you are kind of like putting it all on the line, because you could just keep beating people up in there.
Exactly.
It's kind of what George St. Pierre did. It's what GSP did. Instead of moving up and taking that Anderson Silva fight, GSP just continued to wipe the floor with the welterweights of his division, and you know he's considered one of the greatest of all time himself. So she's there.
Yeah, they're going to continue to step up, and they're going to want that opportunity to be in the limelight with her.
And this is the difference, though, because had GSP taken the Anderson fight, of which I believe he would have won. I mean, once Chris Weidman put the model down, I think GSP would have done that a couple fights earlier. As great as Anderson was then, there would have been no question who the greatest. I mean, GSP would have been over John Jones then. Because at that time, when Anderson was just like fucking Bruce Lee, if GSP had just come in, ground and pound the fuck out of him and did what Chael Sonnen did to him, but not get caught in that triangle, because he never would have got caught in that triangle, he would have been the greatest of all time. And so that's the difference Valentina has to make now. It's like, take this third fight, go after it, which she's doing. Because when you go after it, if you get it, you'll be the greatest of all time. And there'll be no question. Because then it's like, even though she not
2-1, even at
2-1, absolutely, yeah, for sure. And you probably just do it again.
I don't want to see a 4 fight after that.
We never know. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. Who knows? I mean, if there was a finish, but even if there's a finish, how do you deny the one up 2-1 to get their rematch? Now, I gave you rematches twice after beating you. You got to do it a 4th time.
So come down to 125.
Yeah. Cut off your fucking leg. The last little bit of news I want to talk about with MMA. Fucking Aljo, man. Can I just say before we even get into that fucking camp over there, that's a big reason behind our rebrand. Okay? Because I just want to point something out. Okay? Because you guys want to do all the jobs in MMA. Right? Okay, we got Matt Serra, who fucking has the UFC Unfiltered podcast. We got Ray Longo doing the Ray Longo Minute every week with Anik and Florian. We got Aljo, who has his own fucking podcast, The Weekly Scraps. Now we got fucking Al Iaquinta. Yeah, no, that guy wants to sell you the building you do your podcast in, but then he starts his own so that you don't get the views, and he does. And this motherfucker interviews the guy who choked out Dylan Dennis for his first episode, just to make sure everybody comes there to see it. Okay? They all have podcasts. Chris Weidman snapped his fucking leg in half, went home, made a podcast. Where's the space? I mean, forget it. It's just like I get aggravated when I watch these press conferences and that whole joke about how John Morgan always gets the first question. The guy asks every fucking question before anybody else gets to go. If I was forget it. That's why I can't do it. Because if I was a journalist in the back, I'd be looking to fight him in the parking lot. Like, how about this, motherfucker? I'm going first next week. Fuck your seniority. You ask every question that's available to us. And then we get them looking at us like, that's a stupid fucking question. Yeah, but John Morgan just asked the first 10. It's fucking bullshit. But Aljo, he comes out and makes a statement afterwards on social media saying to my real fans, I'm not hurt. What? I'm not hurt. That's not what you should be trying to get across.
What the fuck does that mean?
He said he's not hurt. He said he's not recovering correctly, like in his brain. Like, and he keeps gassing. And his body's not reacting how it should be. So
that's gonna turn into
he's getting
interim fight, and then
it's gonna be that interim is gonna get stripped with Aljo's title. It's good. Whoever wins this shit is gonna be the champion. Fuck that. They're not going back to Aljo on this. This is crazy.
Aljo, go coach or something, bro.
And then that statement afterwards was nuts.
That's wild.
And at the end of the day, he should just relinquish it anyway and move up, because his teammate, Marab,
no.
We never got to discuss what happened with him and Marlon Moraes.
No.
Wow.
What a fucking scrap.
The future of the 135. My man is the machine. He's done losing. He's not taking that shit anymore. He was almost clean out and came back and beat the shit out of Marlon Moraes. Yo. Also, Herb Dean. Yo, Brian Ortega. How many fingers am I holding up? 1, no, 2. Okay, he's good to go. What the fuck? Yo,
that was like a solid minute and a half straight break.
Plus, what the fuck was that? They were like just giving him a break.
How many fingers I got up?
1, 2. Okay. He's good. I watched him do it. Like, he said the shit wrong. I'm like, why you even ask him then?
He said it wrong, then he fixed it, and he was like, whatever, dude. Like,
but then how tough is Brian Ortega wins the 5th round? Yeah, because you gave him a fucking minute and a half to recover over here. My man got his senses back. Shit was crazy, bro. That was crazy. Before we roll out of here, got to discuss a little boxing. Talk about crazy.
Your mans, yo. Tell them about your mans and them.
You know who I feel the worst for? Tyson Fury. Because fucking Deontay Wilder fucking pulls this whole horse shit to get him back into the trilogy when he would have been the one to wipe the floor with Anthony Joshua.
Yep.
I've been telling you that. Joshua's good, but he's not that good. He looks like a fucking Adonis, but that's cute. Tyson Fury looks like he drank 3 beers on the way over here, and he's one of those guys who's going to you could bust his head open. He's going to keep beating you until you're fucking down. And Deontay Wilder, that's what you're getting again. I just rewatched the second fight today.
Yeah.
It is domination. It's not even close. He goes down quicker this time. 4.
Damn.
4 rounds. Tyson Fury puts him away.
That shit's coming up, right?
Yeah, man. I think it's next week. I don't know, the 11th, something like that. But that's my official prediction. All right. 4 rounds. He's going to keep swinging that fucking right hook around the ear socket. Fucked his whole equilibrium up. Dude was falling all over the fucking ring.
He said he had rocks in his blood.
Yeah.
That's when you know he got fucked up.
That's the worst part about it. And that's the truest thing Tyson Fury said in the lead up. You know why he won't win this fight? Because he can't accept the loss. So you can't move on from it. The equipment was heavy on him. What is he talking about, man? There was rocks in the guy's gloves. Holy shit. I can't, man. How embarrassing is that when you know, like, the commission checks the gloves, so at the end of the day, he was punching you so hard in your face that you believe there was rocks in there. That's just reinforcing the other guy. Come on. And this guy's still doing it. He's still saying to this day, oh, you could see that when he punches the way the glove angles. He's still saying it. Yo, you better win. You better win or it's over.
Oh, 100%.
Straight up. And then it's a shame too, because the guy's not a bad guy, and the whole story about how he got into boxing to help his daughter and stuff who was sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, nothing to, that's, he should be proud of himself and where he made it. But I always thought, like, I watched him and thought, like, this guy can't box. He throws a hammer of a right hand. But if he was to get in there with anyone with half the intelligence of an actual, like a Floyd Mayweather at his size would destroy him because he would never land any of that shit. And that's what Tyson Fury showed you. His big ass 6'9", 270-pound frame was still weaving him and landing, and just the guy's just not a great technical boxer, I'm sorry to say.
Right.
And you're going to see that again. Mark my words.
I already know, kid. No.
Listen, man, I'm happy to be back. Do we call this episode 32 or is this episode 1 of season 2?
I think we should go with that because there was episode 32 that just never made it.
Yeah, whatever. It just never made it. That's an underground tape. That'll be in the DVD extras.
No.
It was good though. I'm glad to be back. And I like this format a whole lot better because finally it's actually the same shit.
Different day, kid.
You already know, brother. It's fun to be back, man. All right, brother. See you on the next one.
Love you, kid.
Love you, kid. Later.
Peace.